Okay, so the trailer for the Wrong Turn reboot just came out a couple days ago. I've watched it, and I watched it twice now, 3 times, because I watched it with Drum Dumps. I watched his reaction to it, so I watched it 3 times. So I will give my thoughts on this at the end of the video, if I still have time. But for now, let's talk about the original. I figured I'll go and I'll do a little other review on the original Wrong Turn from 2003. I know it's not a Christmas review. I know it's not Disney. I promise this weekend I'll get back to some Disney stuff. I got a stack of stuff that I should have started, but I've been rearranging my apartment. As you see, I no longer have the desk here. Freewheeling. Freeballing, so to speak. So, yes. So, Wrong Turn came out in 2003. And there's another one in the Grandma Chronicles, as I call it. My grandma had this movie on one of her DVD shelves. I wanted to watch it, so I grabbed it, put it in, and yeah, I've always enjoyed this film. I've always thought it's pretty good, but watching this time, there are a few problems, and it's not like really bad problems. It's just like horror movie rule problems, like something that they call out and scream, and I'll get to that. So what's the story? The story is that this group of people, they get stranded on this road. Their vehicle's tires are cut by razor wire, and so this group has to try to find a way off the road, find some help. But what they do find is a trio of redneck, inbred, mutant, cannibal people who want to kill. And yeah, basically they're running from these guys. Now, the actors in this film, there is a slew of actors that has been in many things. You have Desmond Harrington, who was in Ghost Ship. He was Quinn in Ghost Ship, and he's Flynn here. That's a bit of a change. Eliza Dushku is in this, and she was, on Buffy and True Confessions. Is that what it was called? True something. Whatever. True Calling. That's what it was. True Confessions was the Disney Channel movie. True Calling and Dollhouse. You have Emmanuel Shariki, who's in one of my favorite episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark, which was Tale of the Night Shift. And she was in You Don't Mess with the Zohan with Adam Sandler and Entourage, both the TV show and the movie. And then you have Jeremy Sisto, who was in a underrated movie called So Now You Know, directed and also sort of starring Jeff Anderson. Pretty good. He's been in a couple other things, Law and Order and stuff like that. And then 2 others. There is Lindy Booth, who was in the famous Jet Jackson, which is another Disney Channel show. And Kevin Zegers, who I just did a review for a movie he was in, Air Bud. He was in that. He's been in other things. He was in an episode of Smallville, which was the first episode of Smallville I ever seen. So there's that. And they're the characters. So the same writer in this film is coming back to do the new one, and that's why it gets me a little worried. Because writing in this is not too bad, and I'm hoping that over the years, things have changed over the almost 20 years that this has happened, this has gone, because the writing in this film is very standard horror. These people, they meet each other on the road, and they gotta find help. So what do? They split up. That's the first thing that happens. The first thing in the movie is just 2 people climbing a mountain, and they both die. Off screen, so it's not really much. But here, they decide to split up. And the 2 that are left behind, they, of course, get picked off one by one, with Kevin Zegers' character getting killed first, off screen, of course, and then Booth getting killed off screen. So although we do see her leg chopped off later, and it's down to the last 4, 4. I forgot about Jeremy Sisto. He dies. I think his death is mostly off screen too. I think there's some I didn't really pay attention to his death this time because it's just like, it doesn't really matter. And so the main three, Elijah Dushku, Desmond Harrington, and Emmanuel Shariki, they're the main three. And then once you get to an area, there's a point in the movie, they find these rednecks, I'm going to call them that, rednecks, and then they got to be quiet not to wake them up. But of course, because we got to have a chase, they wake up anyway. And so in Scream, you know, there's that there's the thing about, oh, the bimbo with the big tits. She goes up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. Well, here they should be going down the road and back to where their friends are, you know. But they go up the mountain to where they don't know where they're going. But the cannibals could know that part. But they go up there anyway. And it ends up with Scott, not me, but the character, Jeremy Sister's character, Scott, getting killed. And then there's another thing. They find this, it's like a watchtower or something in the, the Troopers Tower, whatever it was, the Forest Ranger Tower. And they find a radio to make contact. And of course, you know, they're trying to make contact, nothing happens until the rednecks get close. Then, of course, now the rednecks are right there. They make contact and they find them out. They try to smoke them up with fire, and so they try to climb through the trees, through the branches to get out. But they do it slow as fuck. They're just, I'm like, dude, climb down, try to get out of there. But no. And why? Plot convenience. Because we have to do this slow so that the rednecks can catch up to them, kill Carly, that's Amanda Shriki's character, and then I swear to God, it's just like this. They're going very slow. Carly's chopped in half, and then the other two run off. It's like, oh, she's dead. Now they can run. Why the fuck are you not running to begin with? This is the standard. This is the problem with horror films that Scream was trying to suss out, is that everyone makes stupid decisions. Now, horror movies have come a long way, you know, but this is one of those still make. You think that Scream would have changed the way they wrote horror movies, but they didn't. They just started being more aware of it, but that doesn't help. And here, it's very obvious they're following the same horror movie formula that most horror movies did back at that point. It's down to the last two, Elijah Dushku, Desmond Harrington. They blow up the redneck shack with the rednecks in it, except for one. We know the Three Fingers still alive, and he shows up in a post-credit scene, mid-credit scene, whatever, where he kills another cop. And of course, he's still alive because he's the only one that's actually in all the other sequels. And the sequels are a weird, fucked up mess anyway, because 1, 2, and 3 are one set. They're the sequels, and I don't care if I spoil the third one. I don't know if I can get to that one. I like this one. I like the second one. But the third one is terrible. But after the third one, all the rednecks are killed. But then 4, 5, and 6 are prequels, even though 6 has a GoPro, which wouldn't exist pre-2003. But I digest. And yeah, and now the new one's a reboot. So I'll get my ranking for this. It's a 7. It's a decently made film, but there's so many problems that those kind of horror movies from that point of time, it's very obvious in this film. It was just the standard, you know, we have to make the characters stupid because that's how horror movies work. And there'd be more survivors in horror movies if they weren't that stupid, but it's no more obvious than it is in this movie that they are written stupid on purpose. So it's a 7. Now my thoughts on the new one. It looks interesting, but I'm very confused because this movie was finished filming like last year. So it was done, but it wasn't released because of the pandemic, of course. And it was originally entitled Wrong Turn: The Foundation. So it seemed like it was another sequel. And the vibe I got from the trailer is that it's still in the same continuity as the other ones. Even the trailer says, in 2003, you were warned to stay out of the woods. Years later, we still haven't learned. So, and they even mentioned in the trailer that this is like the next generation of, like, a descendants of people who lived in the woods. So it could be next generation. It could be like Halloween 2018, where it takes place umpteen years later in that continuity. But it looks interesting. You know, you got some weird Purge-like vibes with My Country Tizzy playing in the trailer. But it looks fine. So what are your thoughts on Wrong Turn, the original Wrong Turn? What do you think of the trailer for the new one? Leave me in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. We'll see you in the next one.